For a while, Hot Toys collecting just didn't feel the same. It's not like the figures weren't good, it's just everything surrounding the hobby just felt heavy. And then I got hit with a reality check that I didn't expect. What's up guys, my name is Will and I've been collecting 6 scale figures for close to a decade now. Hot Toys, NR, J&D, third party, everything you can imagine. And there was a stretch of time here recently where I was worried that my excitement was just gone. Scrolling announcements didn't hit and new releases felt distant, and after a while I started to ask myself, am I finally burning out? But before I go into what changed for me, make sure to like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so that way you're notified when content goes live here. That said, maybe you felt burnout recently too, even temporarily, and if so, I think my story can help you today. And even if you haven't, I want to prevent that. So let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining me for another video today. And whether you're new to Hot Toys collecting or old to Hot Toys collecting, I want to talk about the first thing on the list here, and that is the outrage and the criticism and the negativity. It does tend to get to you after a while with this Hot Toys collecting hobby. Part of my recent burnout with Hot Toys collecting was the overabundance of negativity that is found in every corner of the internet that hosts Hot Toys related content. Every sculpt feels like a failure, every figure feels like a decline, every figure feels like people just hate on it, and it started to wear me down after a while. Every sculpt had significant outrage. Every delay had people up in arms. Every figure announcement had people wondering why Hot Toys is making this and not X figure that I want. And after a while, it becomes not so much an escapist hobby, but a more critical and defensive and exhausting one. And even figures that I liked became harder to enjoy because everyone was just so critical of them. And I started asking myself, like, am I a dumb fuck? Because everyone seems to hate this shit, and I'm sitting here loving it, and I just feel like I'm questioning my own sanity. But the overall point that I want to arrive at here is that sitting back and enjoying things doesn't have to be complicated. All you have to do is sit back and enjoy them and take people's input for what they are, an input into the system, but certainly not the defining factor. At the end of the day, your perception and your opinion is the one that matters. And if you're influenced too much by communal pressure from a community that has become, let's be honest, a little bit towards the negative side of things, you're probably never going to buy anything, and then you're going to fall into that peer pressure communal trap of just shitting on everything. And that becomes a little bit exhausting, and I think diminishes the fun that you would otherwise have in this hobby. What I want to encourage people is to respectfully stand on your own 2 feet. Don't bow to communal pressure that tries to influence you one way or another. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I get so much shit for loving the Star Wars sequels, even to the degree that people have told me I'm not actually a Star Wars fan because I like the Star Wars sequels. The same goes with The Last of Us Part 2. But at the end of the day, I'm not backing down. I like those films and I like that game, and you know, people can deal. I think for the sake of conformity and fitting in, we sacrifice personal enjoyment, and I find that very disappointing. So stop letting other people make your decisions for you. The power is in your hands. Take it back. During this whole recent period of time where I felt this burnout phase, I've been very transparent in that I've been going through a breakup, and it's been a challenging, difficult time. I'm sure anyone out there can relate to this plight. And these are what create resiliency, but it also allows you to zoom out and look at your life holistically and say, what's bringing me peace and enjoyment, and what things are dragging me down. And you start to take a look at what actually matters, what is actually making you happy, and what you're holding on to out of habit instead of joy. And after a while, I came to the realization that collecting is serving me. Everyone's Hot Toys collecting experience is unique. I can only share my own and hope that it's in some way relatable to yours. But with mine, I do feel like it's greatly enriched my life. I've had so many opportunities that I otherwise never would have had, and so many great friends that I otherwise would have never met if not for this wonderful hobby. And these are some of my best friends in the world right now. Most of my friends do not even live in the same state as me anymore. So, I mean, it's wild. And these are the type of friends that are eminently desirable. These are the ones that have your back. These are the ones that can bond with you through collecting or anything else. And they're loyal and honest and just good people. And those are very hard to find these days. I'm willing to bet that Hot Toys collecting is not all that different in its meaningfulness from me to you. And what I mean by that is that Hot Toys collecting helps us find meaning and purpose in our lives. It certainly is not the only thing that does that, and it should never be that, because I do believe in, you know, living a well-rounded lifestyle. But at the same time, Hot Toys collecting has a lot of great aspects that I think are worth holding on to. The creativity that you can jump right into and build a beautiful display with, it's just fantastic. It's very rewarding when you finally achieve your goal. And when you get that figure that really just hits different, like that Terminator that I've been talking about so much recently, that's the type of thing that really makes you see why I pay these type of prices for these. It's a creative outlet. It's a creative expression. It's excitement. It's joy. It's that kid on Christmas feeling. And I don't think that we should relinquish that so easily. Even as you transition into adulthood, maybe you have kids, anything else going on in your life. You have a mortgage at this point, probably. But even then, like, don't ever lose that sense of excitement and imagination and kid wonder. That's just disappointing if you do. But after rattling all this around in my brain, I started to hit a point where I was reset, like a computer. I realized something that probably should have been obvious. This is a hobby. It's not an obligation. It's not a competition. And it's not a constant argument online. I stopped doom scrolling comment sections. I stopped chasing every pre-order. I stopped allowing people to shape my own perceptions about how I felt on figures. And after a while, that's going to feel incredibly empowering with that level of autonomy. And I asked myself one simple question. Do I enjoy this still? Do I enjoy buying these figures? Do I enjoy making these videos? And if not, why am I doing it? This is why I'm willing to wager that the burnout phase that I experienced recently is not unique to me. I have seen a dramatic increase in the number of videos of people saying, I'm quitting Hot Toys collecting. I'm selling all my figures. I stopped buying Hot Toys figures. Maybe it's clickbait, maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's a phenomenon. But eventually, I made a shift and everything changed. I started appreciating my collection for what it already was, not what it lacked, not what it could be. I posed figures just for myself. I rearranged shelves for myself. I spent time with pieces that I already possessed and that I loved. And suddenly, just like that spark was back. Like Terminator Battle Damage, when you get the right new thing, the figure that really makes you feel excited, truly makes you feel excited, not just that rush of dopamine that's temporary gone and then you never experience it again. I can look at that figure even today and be like, this is a true work of art. And I love Terminator 2 more than almost any other movie. Those are the figures that you should already have. And if you don't already possess them, you should be pursuing them. However, don't hear what I'm not saying. Don't go crazy and spend crazy prices on the aftermarket. But if you can get them for retail price or slightly above retail price, worst case scenario, I think you should go after the ones that are truly going to make you happy. And I'm not saying it's not fun to build out plans for your future display. Of course that's fun. But I'm also saying that it's important to enjoy what you currently have, to appreciate what you currently have. Just sit in your collection room for like 10, 15 minutes and just take it all in. Here's why I'm all in again. I'm excited now because my collection feels personal again. It reflects my taste, my pace, my space. All that noise has faded, and what was left was the reason I actually started collecting in the first place. When Hot Toys announces a new figure or releases a new figure, I don't let other people shape my opinions for me anymore. I don't let their opinions influence my own, and I encourage you to do the same. Enjoyment is very personal, and we should ensure that it stays that way. So while I'm seeing so many videos about people quitting Hot Toys collecting or Facebook posts about people selling everything, I would say take a pause, take a step back, and ensure that you're making the right decision by considering all the factors I've presented today. So my message today is that if you're feeling disconnected or burnout or overwhelmed by the negativity in the hobby, it doesn't mean you're done with Hot Toys collecting. Like any good operating system, sometimes you just need a reset. Sometimes you just need distance, perspective, and maybe a reminder that it's not about keeping up. It's about choosing intentionally. I realized I wasn't losing interest in collecting. I was losing sight of why it mattered to me. And now that I've regained that, I'm all in. And I'm hoping that in some way, this video is going to help people going through something similar. If you've experienced collector burnout recently, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or maybe you feel like you're headed in that direction. Maybe we can veer you in a different one to help you enjoy Hot Toys collecting again. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and of course, click the notification bell so that way you're notified when content goes live here. And of course, check out WillFoxification clips here on YouTube for short form content, Instagram, will.foxification, and TikTok, WillFoxification. Lots of great content over there that you're not going to want to miss. Thank you guys so much for hearing me out. If you experienced any significant disrupting life changes recently, feel free to drop them in the comments below. We can all come together and try to help each other out. Like I said, I appreciate you guys being open to hearing my personal stories and not being like, oh God, here goes Will again. I'm somewhat of a sensitive guy, so I experience these things very significantly, and I appreciate you guys, hearing me out and being open to what I have to say about it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you and love you as always. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out. See you later. Bye.